Hi, this is Ryan with RE Shoemaker LLC, specializing in voice over IP telephone systems, computer network installations and cabling, and security camera systems. Today we're going to do a short introductory video to the Hanwha A-series camera line and just how to get in and view live footage on your recently installed camera system. I do specialize in selling Hanwha products, and I sell their IP Power over Ethernet camera systems, and you see some samples here of what the system might look like and the different ways to view it. With this system, you basically have three ways to view your camera system. One is if you're standing in front of your network video recorder and you have a monitor attached to it and a mouse attached, you can view the footage locally from there. That's where you're going to get your highest resolution on the screen because you're viewing it locally and you'll see the high definition of each of the cameras. The other two methods to connect are through the WiseNet Viewer software or just a web browser from a computer or a laptop where you can look locally from your local area network and view the cameras from there. And the third option is on your mobile device using the WiseNet mobile app, which you can install on your mobile devices or tablets. I'm going to focus today on the computer-based solution where you're viewing it through a web browser when you're on your local area network. So to do that, what you would do is open up a new tab and go to the IP address of the system that's sitting locally on your network. Now this IP address should have been provided to you by your installer when they installed your NVR. So if you don't know that, you may have to reach out to them and get that information. But once you put in the IP address into the browser, it asks you to log in. You'll log in with the credentials that have been provided to you by your installer. And this will bring us to our Hanwha Vision home landing page. And it will automatically show you a live view of your system. And I'm going to go over some features here today. In this short video, we're just going to focus on the live view, and I'll have follow-up videos on how to retrieve footage. But in this case, you see across the top you have three tabs. You have your live view, which is we're currently in, and that's showing you your cameras and these thumbnail images. You have the search button, which would allow you to go to playback to pull up previously recorded footage. And then we have the setup tab, which is where you go into add cameras, change resolution settings, change hard drive settings, or a lot of the behind the scenes things that your installer has probably already taken care of for you. Again, today we're going to focus just on live view. So we're in the live view tab and we have our thumbnails of some of the cameras that are on our system. I'm going to go around the page here and show you some of the features. Down this left-hand side, you have your camera view. This will show you all the cameras that are currently attached to your NVR. This particular system is a 16-channel NVR. However, I only currently have 6 cameras attached to it, so you just see the 6 cameras that are currently attached and visible to the network video recorder. And down here you have your layout tab. This is a handy place for you to start if you want to create custom layouts, if there are certain cameras that you like to go to more frequently than others, or you want to separate it by parts of your property or different sides of the building. You can create these layouts to view different things and pull those up. I'll come back to this a little bit later, but I want to touch more about the bottom bar first. So some of these I'm not going to go into in greater detail on this video, but you do have places that you can export and you can record manually of what's showing up on your screen. And now I'm going to jump over here to the more recent areas that you're going to spend time in. And the most one is the split mode here. If you click on this, you can actually see these different grids. This is going to change the view of what you see in this main thumbnail view area. Right now we're in a 2x2, which allows you to see 4 cameras. Next we have the 3x3, and I'll just click on that to show you. And then this will change your view to show you a total of 9 panes where you can see up to 9 cameras that are on your system. And again, I only have 6 here, so you're just seeing the first 6, and then you're seeing the other channels that are not currently in use. Then we also have some other ones here. The 1x5 allows you to have one primary camera larger than the rest for ease of viewing. And then you have your other cameras in smaller panes around there. And then they also have a 1x7, which allows you to get a total of 8 cameras viewing on this thumbnail view. And then they have some of these other layouts that aren't really as pretty because it distorts the cameras, like it stretches the camera view. But if for some reason you just wanted to see 2 cameras, you could do that here. I typically like to have like this 3x3 pane so I can see up to 9 cameras at a time. And now, getting to the main attraction. In this center section with our thumbnails, if you want to view any one of these cameras through the web viewer, all you need to do is double click with your mouse and pull up the view of that camera. And you notice some things change here. We have gone full screen, and then over here, this has changed to an orange highlighted text showing you that this is the camera we're currently viewing. Now, while you're in here live view, if there was something happening that you wanted to zoom in on, through the web viewer, it's very easy. You just use the center scroll button on your mouse, and you would just go point to the section of the screen that you would like to look at, and then you scroll down, and then once you get zoomed in, you can see over here it's showing you how much of the screen we're zoomed in on in this orange rectangle. And then you can actually, once you're zoomed into a certain point, then you can just left click and drag around to fine tune what you're currently looking at. And then to zoom out, you just scroll wheel up. So scroll wheel down, we'll zoom in, and then drag to the portion you want to see, and then scroll wheel up to go back to normal view. Now, when you're done looking at a particular camera, the best way to get out of this view is just to double click anywhere on the screen, and that will exit out of full camera view and take you back to your thumbnail view. And then likewise, you can double click on any of these other cameras and pull them up, and using the scroll wheel down, drag around to view what you want to see, scroll wheel up to go back to full screen, and then double click to exit. So that is pretty much just navigating around in through these different screens. Now, if you had something that you wanted to record live that's happening right now, you could double click on this, and then down here you can use this capture, which will save a still frame picture of what's happening on the screen right now locally to your computer. Or you can do the record, which will do a PC manual record where it will record until you tell it to stop, and then it will download that to your downloads folder on your local computer for normal footage. And then some of these other ones are if you want to see instant view, allows you to go back a few minutes earlier, a few minutes up to live view, and then you can change the orientation if for some reason you wanted to rotate, which most of the time these are already set in the order you want. And then here is the channel aspect ratio, which will take all distortion out and get you to what the camera will look like, or its full resolution. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about here is one of these layouts, just in case you want to create your own custom layout. So I'm going to double click to exit out of this view. I'm going to come over here to layout. I'm going to click on the plus button, and then it gives me a chance, and I'll just say all cameras, which I already have one of these, but just to show you what's going on, I'll create a new one. And we click that, and then we go over here and change our pane. We'll get to 9. Again, all cameras, should have done that first. And then you just double click on each one of your cameras, and it will populate the thumbnail images. And then once you have the layout you want, you can reorder these if you want. You can drag them to a different location. And once you're happy with your layout, then you come over here, see it's still highlighted in orange. So I'm just going to click the little save disk icon, and now it has saved that. So anytime in the future, if I want to pull up this particular orientation of camera view, I can just double click on that. And then in this case, I have a street view, so it just shows the 2 cameras out on the front street. This concludes the live view features of the Hanwha A-series cameras using the web viewer. If you need any assistance for your business or security camera needs, please feel free to find me at www.reshoemaker.com. Thank you.